Yo, what's up, guys? Thank y'all for tuning in to the Party Podcast. You know, where we give y'all the hottest sports takes with lifestyle and cultural touch to it. You feel me?
Yes,
It's your boy
sir.
D Lamp.
Hey, it's your boy Melo.
It's your dog Huncho.
That's your boy Jay-Tay.
Hey man, let's right away. We got another birthday episode on the
let's
way.
do it. Let's do it.
Hey, let's just get this out here and in the air now. Happy birthday to the homie Huncho.
Big Huncho. Happy
Appreciate
birthday,
it,
bruh.
man. Appreciate
Sure.
it, man. It's just a blessing, man, to be here with my dogs, man. Family doing straight, business going straight.
Amen.
V-Nor Designs.
Hey.
Exactly. Like I shared with y'all this time last year, a little bit before COVID kind of kicked up and everything. I started my business, so celebrating 1 year, man. Can't ask for anything else, man. Everything's straight, so I can't complain.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Hey man,
So it's
hey,
a real
listen.
birthday and a business birthday. So we got a lot to celebrate,
Yeah.
man. We got a lot
Facts.
to celebrate. That's a blessing, man. Happy birthday.
Man, appreciate
Look,
y'all.
we had to pop it off the right way, man. Just wanted to show you some love right off the start, man.
For sure, for sure. That's
So
Appreciate
this
how we get
is
started.
this
Episode
is a show.
It's
Five?
episode 5.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's,
sir.
yeah, it's
episode
episode yeah, it's
five?
episode 5. Yeah,
Wow.
number 5, man.
We
We keeping
rolling.
it going, man. We keeping it going. We keeping it pushing. I think we're officially almost in the community now. So we've been
Hey.
putting in some work, and it's been awesome to get all the shout outs and love from all the other podcasts. We appreciate everybody. So just trying to perfect our craft and having some fun with it. So I'm happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
let's get it. Let's dive into it, fellas. Let's
Go
go.
ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna kick it off. So basically, what we gonna start off talking about is the MLB taking a little shift in our approach. So basically, what's going on is the MLB moved the 2021 All-Star Game from Atlanta over the Georgia voting laws. So they moved the game to Denver now. So it's kind of been making a big deal as far as what's going on. So what I'm going to do for you all is just read a couple of things that's going on with that Georgia voting law. Me being out here in Atlanta, we seen a big rise in voting from, just the entire state, and the state actually turned blue. So a whole bunch of
changed from
people
red
went out
to
there
blue
and vote.
state.
So the first thing it really says is early voting expands in most of Georgia counties. So they're still going to have early voting, but IDs are now required not just for in-person voting, but also for mail-in voting. So we got that. We got absentee voting. New rules regulate drop boxes and shorten time frames for requesting and returning mail ballots. Now, the Georgia law was 98 pages long. I'm not going to go too much into it, but basically this is just a form of voter suppression, which is a really big deal because we want people to get out there and vote. And due to COVID, people got to vote from home. It was a lot of mail-in ballots. So, fellas, we just, I just want to get y'all take and, basically just kind of chop it up and see what you guys think and how this does impact baseball and sports as a whole, because this is, an entire state changing these laws, and it went effect like to a whole sport. So, kick us off, D-Lamp.
All right, bet. So the thing is how I feel about it, and I'm glad this is our cultural topic because this is stuff we've seen before, right? Like voter suppression is a real thing. It's one thing that we got a lot of people out to vote, but Republicans don't like the fact that Georgia became a blue state. So off top, they started changing laws to stop minorities from voting because by popular opinion, most minorities are Democratic. So like you said, with COVID and the whole ordeal, that spiked a lot of people voting from home, which let a lot of minorities vote. And like it appealed to more minorities because you got to vote from home. So that tipped the scales to make it a blue state. So now like it's crazy laws where like you can be in line to vote and you can't, like, people can't come to give you refreshments, whether that's a drink or a snack, because the lines are going to be so long because they've removed a lot of polls. So it's just stuff like that like I'm glad the MLB has stepped up and done something about this to bring awareness to this, because Oh, you good, you good. Oh yeah, so our producer, he just gave me some info. It's a misdemeanor in the state of Georgia to provide somebody who's voting or in the line to vote with food or water. So you can necessarily get arrested. Like
Wow,
what?
that's crazy.
Like to give somebody food or water? That yeah, like I said, that's crazy. So like I'm glad the MLB touched on this to bring awareness to this because this is something that's not cool. This is something that should not be tolerated. This is something that we worked hard to get away from. So like we're not. This is not something that needs to come back.
Hey,
Yeah,
let's
go ahead, Melo.
go ahead. I'll go
I was just gonna say, I mean, I agree with Lamp. I mean, I don't even personally. It's hard for me to fathom that these laws were even passed. But you know that just shows you how unbalanced our world is in a racial aspect. It shows that we are still being suppressed to this day. It's just not as nationally broadcasted. It's more so behind the scenes, and it deals with things that most African Americans, which I hate to say it, but most of us don't pay attention to it. So I feel like some people aren't really aware of how much this can really affect us in the long run, and just the fact that they're able to pass these laws is unfathomable to me. So I appreciate Atlanta for switching that over to Denver because it has to be some sort of stand taken, and the best way to take a stand is by having something that is nationally seen or something that is publicized at the utmost and highest level. Once they take a stand, then it kind of sets the standard for what else needs to happen from this point on. So it's unacceptable to me. The laws just being even placed and being able to be passed is, like I said, I can't even believe it.
I mean, doesn't it give you the vibes of Jim Crow all over again?
Man, that's all it is.
So
That's all it is.
So I'm gonna take it to a sports context real quick. Isn't it in a way ironic that MLB, a league that represents, what America is and America's pastime and things of those nature, isn't it interesting that that's the league that kind of took a stand and boycotted essentially the city? My hat goes off. I tip my hat to MLB, to baseball, for having the courage to be able to do that. I don't think in years past, just looking at their history, they're not a league that necessarily is big on activism or big on speaking out against issues. So for a league that, let's be honest, is a predominantly white league, and even when we look at the minorities in the league, they're not as much African American as they are other minority groups.
Yeah.
So just when you start thinking about that, that's huge that a league in the MLB is willing to basically say, hey, we're an ally in this fight of equality and justice for everyone.
Exactly.
I think that's huge. Now, when you look at the actual laws that are being put in play, it's disappointing, right? That we're in 2021. Everything that's gone on. Even let's just take the window of the last year, right? Like these are the things that are having to be discussed still. Why? I mean, what is the? I guarantee this: if that state would have been a red state, these laws wouldn't have been put in place.
No.
Right? If Trump wouldn't have attacked Georgia the way that they did, or the way that he did, these laws wouldn't be put in place. So it's unfortunate that these laws did get passed through and are now in effect. But as Jalen kind of alluded to earlier, it puts the pressure on us to, as far as those that live in Georgia, to make sure they're getting their absentee votes in early. That definitely has to be something that we is fully taken advantage of, just to avoid massive lines at the voters box, because let's just be honest, they're trying to get people not to vote. They're trying to get people to, after 45 minutes of standing in the Georgia sun, just say, forget it. It's not that important, right? So that's what they're trying to influence people to have happen. So in order to combat that, we definitely got to make sure that we're getting our votes in early, if that's the case. Jay, I'm curious though, because you actually live down in Georgia. I'm curious to hear, your thoughts on both sides of it, right? Like MLB, as far as what the All-Star game can do for the city, and what's your thoughts on the laws that have been ran?
So basically, the first thing that came to my mind when I heard all of this is I just thought of adaptability. Like, you see, I think Melo touched on it like the best. Like, the MLB isn't known for doing this. So what the MLB is trying to do is appeal to wide audience. You know what I'm saying? The NBA does it. We've seen the NFL do it. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of how people feel, if it's ingenuine or if it's genuine, regardless, it's being done. So, like Melo said, I tip my hats off to the MLB for taking a stand and just, helping them understand. Like, I always think when stuff like this happen, I always think of shut up and dribble. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I hate how people always say, oh, keep politics out of sports. Well, sports is universal. Music is universal. It's certain things that are universal to the world that's just going to tie in with fashion is universal. You know what I'm saying? So those things tie into each other. So the MLB taking a stance on Georgia and basically saying, we're not with that, so we're just going to move our All-Star game, because the Atlanta Braves are actually a good team. They actually go to the playoffs every year. They come up short, but they play good baseball. So for them to lose that is kind of a big deal. But also, like y'all said, it's voter suppression, man. One thing that's going to always be constant is, someone always trying to get the upper hand. You know what I'm saying? And like Melo said, Melo just touched on it the best. Like, if this was a red state and none of this happened, because we got to remember, it was a close race. Like, Georgia, it almost took a week for all of those votes to get counted and recounted and recounted. Like, it was a big deal. So for them trying to stop that, you know what I'm saying, it's not a good look. But honestly, man, like you said, we got to continue to do our part. We did our part. Going out and voting and getting people to go out and vote. Shout out to Stacey Abrams, because, it was a real big push, to your point of me being out here, seeing people to go vote. I've seen the lines, just driving past. So, that's just the real deal. So, like, I appreciate all the efforts of all Georgians, regardless of whatever way you voted, you went to vote. You know what I'm saying? So, exercise that right. So, like Lamp said, I'm glad this is a topic that we got to touch on, because, politics do tie into sports. It's just certain stuff that does that. And shout out to the MLB being in full season. The NFL not in season right now. The NBA getting close to the playoffs, So for the MLB to take that stance early, it puts a little spotlight on them. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. Exactly. And my just last little my thought real quick. I just want to know. I want to know specifically, and there's no way we would really be able to understand this or be able to know this, but I really want to know how, if the MLB would have still taken this action prior to COVID and prior to all the protests that we were doing as a people due to Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. I really want to know if this would be something that would be on their mind prior to this, because last year 2020 was a bad year for everybody, economically and just as a business. Not necessarily everybody, but not as good as it usually is. So with that being said, I feel like these organizations are trying to come out of this whole situation on top. So in the long run, this will, in a sense, bring the MLB, I don't know, it could bring them more money in the long run simply because they are appealing to more people. So my question is, would they still be taking this stand if it was something that happened prior to COVID and everything that we went through last year.
Can I answer
so
that
that's-
for you?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be very. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't happen, right?
Yeah.
And I say that
And that's
because
the sad part.
But I don't put the blame just on MLB. What's your favorite league to watch, Van?
NFL.
Right, the NFL. They went to court over a guy kneeling for injustice. Right now, on the back of every helmet this past season, what could you find? Black Lives Matter or injustice for all. You know what I mean? Or equality or so. I'll answer that for you. No, it wouldn't have happened. But I think it's more of a it's something that we need to think about. Are there more allies now, right? Because you couldn't deny what happened to George Floyd, right? Like that. I think that was the thing that hit home for a lot of the people that aren't affected by these type of situations that Black folks have had to deal with forever. But I think it was the fact that you can't deny this one. You know you can always make up. There was always things being made up against every other victim in this situation, right? What could you say about this dude? What could you say about George Floyd? I'm not going to disrespect him. What can you say about what happened to George Floyd, right? So I think it opened the eyes. Remember, Drew Brees early on last year tried to make a statement about it and it got checked on it, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't because that he was X, Y, or felt X, Y, and Z about it, but it was more so because he was ignorant to it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these leagues may not be ignorant to it per se, but I think because of what happened, it's definitely opened the eyes to a lot of people that, okay, maybe this isn't, what we thought this was. Maybe this is an actual issue. I'm hopeful that that's the reason that they did it. Right? Like that could be your only hope, right? Is that the NFL realizes like damn, we messed up on this one. We dropped the ball, so let's get it right this time. Or like MLB, like, yeah, we probably need to say something about what's going on. But does that? I don't know. Like I said, that could just be my final hope, right? Is that was the reason, that was their intent behind it all.
Let me add real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Mine's gonna be a real quick tidbit before Lamp gets in, but also the power of social media. Like, I mean, it's seen everywhere. You know, so I'm saying it's more. Everybody has their fingertips and their eyes on everything that's going on. So not only, like to Melo's point, no, but the power of social media is so big now that it influences a lot of what these leagues do. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? It reflects a lot of what they're researching and what they're trying to get. So to Melo's point, I was just saying the power of social media. Go ahead, Lam.
But yeah, like you said, the power of social media definitely brings a lot to the equation of what is going on. But like Melo said, this probably wouldn't have happened if before COVID. And like COVID was low key a blessing in disguise to have something like this happen like during the highest peak of social media, so everybody can sit back and reflect on what happened and think about it. So even though, like, for some people this may be a trend for Black Lives Matter or rights for the LGBTQ community or stuff like that, but like it really has become a thing that has power moving forward now, and like we just need to stay on top of it. And like I said, we all said, we tip our hats to the MLB because like it's just another domino falling in the right direction for justice for all, basically.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was dope, y'all. That was dope. that was such a great conversation to have, for real, because we see this happening so much now. People, we seen it happening forever. So excellent discussion, fellas, man. What we got next? I'm ready now. That just got me hyped,
I said at the top, we got a good show on board. But look, let's switch it up. Let's go back to March Madness. Let's go ahead and talk about that championship game. By now, everyone should have known or heard that Baylor did end up winning and ruining Gonzaga's perfect season. Final score at 86-70. before I give my spiel on the game, let me go ahead here. What was your thoughts on March Madness as a whole and the game? The championship game.
Okay, so March Madness as a whole is very unpredictable, as we all know. But I feel like this year, the upsets were like way bigger than anticipated, to where like kids that were going to these colleges were receiving threats and stuff like that because brackets were being messed up left and right, which is crazy. But it's like we expect that to happen. But like I said, I feel like this March Madness things were all over the place. I had Gonzaga to win. Close, but not close enough. When I watched the game, they weren't ready for Baylor.
No,
they weren't. Like, and granted, is like they had nothing to do with this, but their season, they didn't have too much competition throughout their whole season, and like when they met Baylor was too athletic. They had 5 or 6 people who could shoot, like shooting 40% from 3, and like too much contact. They definitely weren't ready.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely weren't ready, and you could see it when you were watching the game.
No, I definitely think that Gonzaga was definitely manhandled on the boards, behind the 3-point line, defensively. Like, the things that made Gonzaga a good team, right, is what we think about when we think of Gonzaga as far as, like, their offenses, you backdoor cutting and, people being able to get easy looks, and none of that was happening, right?
No.
Like, when you look at the first possession of the game, if I'm not mistaken, there was 3 tip balls and a forced a deep 3 from, I believe it was Suggs, right off the start. That wasn't, as a coach, that's not what I expect my first offensive possession to be. I expect to get some type of easy look because it's the first set of the game. I should be able to get something off easy. So that set the tone right there. The 3 guard set was too much. Timmy couldn't do anything with any of those dudes in the switch, which allowed the bigs to underneath to just kill on the offensive boards. Timmy, one of their best rebounders, if not their best rebounder, was pulled out to the wing so much that they had no interior force down there. So, yeah, it got ugly quickly.
It got real ugly.
I guess as a fan, I kept hope alive because Gonzaga was undefeated, but I mean that quickly faded. After the second half started, we could see who was really in control of that game. As for March Madness as a whole, I think it was one to behold, right? Like, we had some of the craziest upsets happen this past year. Definitely enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed watching my Trojans, get to the Elite Eight and eventually losing to Gonzaga. But hey, outside of Baylor, everyone lost to Gonzaga, so I don't feel too bad about that. So as a whole, I didn't mind it too much, man, at all. I thought it was a pretty good March Madness, and
Definitely was.
Unfortunately, it was a blowout in the championship game. But as a whole, I definitely enjoyed it.
You want to go, Jay?
Go ahead.
Either one of y'all. I want to hear. I want to hear somebody. Come on.
Yeah, just going off y'all point. I'll start off with March Madness as a whole. The whole thing is always gonna be that unpredictable feeling, those games where it might be an upset, it might not. The games that you think won't be an upset sometimes do be an upset. So it's just that feeling of unpredictability. And just that has you on your edge of the seat. So March Madness is always going to get the nod for me for the most part. Considering that Gonzaga was undefeated, although y'all said like they didn't really play anybody this year, they were rolling. I kind of felt like they would have the nod in this game. I gave them the nod in this game to win, but as the game started going, I saw that wasn't going to happen. I saw that Gonzaga got outboarded by Baylor by like 18 rebounds. In which I feel like personally, I'm someone that is big on second chance points. And if that team is able to get all them rebounds, then you ain't going to get too many second chances to score the ball. So them second chance points add up for sure, especially if they can get a board and kick it out for a 3 or foul and one something. It's a lot that can happen from that. But as far as Baylor, they got some dogs. Like one person that I like watching on Baylor is number 45 Mitchell. That boy a dog. That boy a dog. And it's ironic that his last name is Mitchell and he's number 45 too. So, but yeah, man, it was fun to watch though. But I thought it was gonna be way closer than that for sure. But, yeah, what you got, Jay?
I mean, y'all kind of touched on everything. March Madness overall, I think the importance of this March Madness as we go into a new decade, I think it brought fun back into college basketball. I like the upsets. Of course, like, my bracket was busted very early. I had Gonzaga going, but I had them losing to the Fighting Illini. But, of course, that didn't happen. But shout out to Baylor. I mean, they outplayed them. I mean, I'm kind of curious to see, because this was such an interesting college basketball season, how this draft class does in the league, you know, because this might be a special draft class for the simple fact that we did have so much exciting basketball going on. So shout out to the NCAA. Like, I feel like they did a good job keeping everything grouped in Indy and keeping that competitive drive, you know, trying to, you know, do the bubble thing, and I feel like it worked for the sport. So shout out to Baylor. You know, you guys are champions, so, you know, y'all deserve it, man.
No, they were tough with that 3-guard set between Mitchell and the you know, the player of the game essentially, and Butler.
Yeah. Butler coach.
It was just, bro, he's a bucket. You know what I mean?
Straight bucket.
He's a straight bucket. You know the craziest part though, when I was watching, like, I had to look it up. Like, I'm like, dang, is this you know, is this Donovan Mitchell's like cousin, brother? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like,
there's no relation.
Right, that's the crazy thing. But like, they got the same swag, they got the same, they move about the same, they about the same size. So if anything, you know, he should be able to get a look just off of association with the name.
With name alone.
Yeah, like,
and balling out in the championship.
Yeah, he definitely probably gonna get a look. So like Jalen said, shout out to Baylor, shout out to them boys. They kind of went under the radar. After losing a couple games early, but definitely put it together. And at the end of the day, you want to hit your stride at the right time, and they definitely did. So shout out to them boys.
Shout out to Baylor, man. Well, I guess keeping it on the topic, since we already talking about basketball, got a pretty big legend in the news lately of the game of basketball. For those who don't know, Paul Pierce, who is a former NBA player, some would say NBA great, former Boston Celtics, won some championships with the Celtics, and
Championship.
yeah, I don't know why I made that plural. Won a championship with the
Most overrated big three of all time.
too much.
Oh my goodness, bro!
Yes,
Don't get me
bro.
started, bro. Don't get me
giving them too
started,
much,
bro.
man.
They
I'm
swear they were the
serious,
greatest
bro.
dynasty.
They
No
swear.
disrespect. Look, let me stop.
Bro, no,
I'm sorry.
We'll talk about it. Look, we'll talk about it during the segment or something, bro. Because I'm with you. For them in the 04 Pistons, I'll be like, bro, y'all need to relax, bro. How y'all dynasty with one championship apiece?
It was a great accomplishment.
Yeah, we ain't hating, but
That's all it was.
But
profit or stop it. All right, I'm gonna stop it. Go ahead. I'm gonna stop it.
Tell proper to stop it. But yeah, so if y'all haven't heard, Paul Pierce has been in the news because he has been recently fired from ESPN for a video that he posted on his Instagram Live.
Man, oh man.
What's y'all take on this, man? Y'all, what's y'all take?
Who wanna go first?
Specifically, I don't know. I gotta give everybody the information, but it specifically was a video of him with some exotic dancers.
And he was blowing on some weed, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Bro, he was turned.
gas.
He had a good ass night. Like,
That boy was celebrating like he just won that ship.
bro, that single chip, he was celebrating like that, bro. Like,
Go party like it's 08, baby.
bro, he was, wasn't he?
That's
He forgot
crazy.
he forgot he worked for ESPN.
That is crazy, cause look, man, for you, like, it's one thing if you was recording all this to keep in the archives, but you really went live. You really went live, and guess how many people watched?
Wait. How many people was in there, bro?
But it was a whopping 315.
Yeah, they said he lost his job over 315 or for 315 viewers.
Chill.
Bro, it was a whopping 315, bro.
Y'all out of line.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro. Like, dang, I understand if you were recording this to be like, I'm gonna keep this, and one day I'm gonna go back to it. It was a good time, but to go live, bro. To go live, you already knew. You knew what was gonna happen. You knew what was gonna happen. I knew what was gonna happen when I seen the comment, where Rachel Nichols at.
Yeah, it was right.
It was over after that.
It was OVOXO. It was
Where
OVOXO
is
after that
Rachel
comment.
Nichols? Where is Rachel
Melo?
Nichols?
It was OVOXO after that comment popped up. And then, Twitter don't make it no better because whatever you don't want to be out there, Twitter
has a magnifying glass.
Twitter finds ways to magnifying glass all that. So instead of it being actually 315 followers or people that watched it, it now got leaked all over Twitter universe. Twitter is the worst, bro. Twitter is the absolute worst. And then, of course, the tweet isn't even about Paul Pierce no more. It's about why Rachel Nichols is in the comments, right? So, listen, Paul Pierce, you work for Disney. You work for Disney.
Man, that man knew what he was doing, man.
Bro, if you just want it out of your contract, just ask out.
Hey, man.
At this point, what are we doing? Bro, you blowed on camera.
That
with
boy was in there
strippers
like this.
Bro, what Draymond say about PP? They don't love you like that, bruh. I'm just saying, man. If you trying to do all that, you better go ahead and go and sign your next deal with Fox. All right, look you got Shannon on TV with the bottle of Henny. You got Snoop giving him the pack on TV. You know what I mean? So if you want to do all that, just go to Fox. Just I get it. Just go to Fox.
I'm pretty sure he was tired of ESPN. I'm pretty sure this was on purpose.
I think he got tired of being painted in a bad light by ESPN because essentially he became the laughing stock of ESPN
Facts.
predictors. You know what I mean? So maybe he was just tired of it and he said, "YOLO,
wasn't that
I'm gonna get out of
self-inflicted
this."
though?
It is 100%.
All this he's doing is self-inflicted, bro. He been trying to
Talk
kill
about it, Huncho.
Bro.
Talk
But
about it.
his whole career is that way,
Talk
bro.
about it.
Let's
So
not
does
forget.
your-
Let's not forget. Hold on.
Oh,
Wait, he got caught.
his whole career is that way, bro.
I'm just saying, bro.
Look, before you get started, let me say this.
Go ahead, bro.
Let me say this. First of all, look, we keep our show PG-13, of course, I live in Atlanta, First things first, if you're going to do something like this, Paul Pierce, you got to hit up Lou Will. You got to make sure you hit up Lou Will. Because one thing Lou Will is going to do. Lou Will got to Magic City in the bubble, bruh. In the bubble. You know what I'm saying? So, first of all, you got to get your act together in that regards. But
strippers and wings.
One thing about me is, and I think, this podcast is getting us out of our, social media bubble, and we trying to be out a little bit more. But as grown men on here, we not really the types that really mess with social media. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I know for sure, because Lamp has been around me, you know what I'm saying? Lamp has been around Melo when he's been, having fun. And one thing we don't do is make sure that our boys are just out here like that when we know we have something to live for. Now,
Exactly.
people, when you have a professional life, like I said, we have lives outside of this. You know what I'm saying? And what is on the internet is always going to be on the internet. So, like you said, Paul Pierce probably whatever he wanted to do. Like my thing is, we've been in quarantine. We've been in quarantine for the greater part of a year now. I done seen the same exact thing on Instagram from time to time from plenty of different people. But you know what? Those people don't work for ESPN. That's owned by Disney. You know what I'm saying? So when people like us, we know Paul Pierce and we know the championship he won. You know what I'm saying? But the newer generation, the TikTok generation, they gonna see him. They gonna be like, "Oh, that's the dude who had the strippers in the video, and he's on ESPN. So they're going to, of course, protect their brand. So my thing is, Paul Pierce, have fun, bro. I'm not mad at you. You know, you're a grown man. You can do what you want to do. You're having a good time, but just be smarter. Handle your business. And for all of y'all friends that was there with him, y'all need y'all buzz beat because my boys wouldn't let me go out like that, bro.
Yeah,
Put that phone up. Put that phone up. Hey.
Bro, even if you look, my thing is like if you would have started a live, I'm like, nah, bro, chill out.
Right,
bro,
right.
Just record it, bro. If you record it, bro. If you really want to remember this, record it.
Thanks.
I was finna say no. I want you to say what you were gonna say, and then I'll say what I was gonna say.
I was just gonna say, his entire career has been him making a fool out of himself at times. All
Golly. Ever since he got into the league, bro.
I'm just saying, and listen, shout out Inglewood, shout out Marlon, but PP, the truth. He done. Hey, you can make a whole blooper reel on this dude. You know what I mean? So, listen, PP and when he caught the cramp, was it? And needed to be stretchered out, and they had the whole team had to walk him to the locker room, and it looked like that he just got shot in the back of his leg. So I'm just saying, bro. Unfortunately, you know, Paul Pierce has definitely developed a reputation that isn't necessarily the best, but like Jay said, at some point you need to start questioning who you're around, because for them to even allow you to take your phone out and be on that without the thought of like, hold on, man, you work on TV, you got an image to keep up. No matter how many people was gonna watch, there should have been someone in the room like, hold on now, you got to put that away, G. But let me hear you, Lamp.
I was just finna ask y'all, does he remind y'all of another player that's playing right now?
Who, Dwayne Haskins?
Wait, who?
No, bro.
Who?
No.
Dwayne got fired because he showed up at a stripper party.
No, I'm not saying they got fired. You just said he. This goes back to what Van said. Van said all this is self-inflicted.
Oh, George Paul? Yeah, bro. All George Paul stuff is self-inflicted. It ain't even close. Like, this fool called himself Playoff P. And then went out there and didn't score in the last 47 minutes of an elimination game.
Oh man, I just wanted to see if he knew where I was going, and of course he did.
Yeah, Playoff P. Yeah, Playoff P is a clown himself.
But yeah, man, Paul Pierce, man, it could have been handled much better. It could have been handled a lot better. But like you said, hey, do what you got to do. Have fun while you're doing it, I guess. But you know, we like to lead into our next segment. We like to do our special segments, and you know, right now we are doing Profit and Stop It. So this is a segment where each one of us guys gives our take on a specific topic and predicting the future. So we're gonna rate if it's a profit, if that's definitely gonna happen, or if it's a stop it. You need to cut it out. So who do I want? Jay, where you at with it? I want to see what you got.
All right. So I'm gonna take it to some football. So Pro Football Focus dropped an article that basically said the strongest team positional groups heading into the 2021 NFL Draft. So what I want to touch on is they said one specific team has the best wide receiver corps. And guess who that team was? Who was that team? America's football team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Of course.
Now, we not even going to get started. I can't wait till football season comes and we start previewing these divisions and these teams, because we're going to talk about the NFC least. But, fellas, they said that the wide receiver corps in Dallas is the best in football, which includes CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. I had Amari Cooper in fantasy. Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. So, I just want to know if this is a profit or stop it. Kick it out, Melo.
Can we say stop it? I guess that
Wise man.
I guess that team that just won the Super Bowl with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown. You're telling me those guys are better than Amari Cooper, who doesn't play on the road. Michael Gallup, who had 1,000-yard season, and CD Lamb, who's been in the league for one season. Like, bro, stop it. I'm not. Stop it, bro. Lamb.
Look, Melo really just hit it on the head. How do you have the best receiving core when y'all not getting nowhere? So like you said, the Buccaneers really showed out with their receiving core. So I mean, I'm just gonna have to go with stop it, just like Melo. It's not really too much to talk about here. Van?
What you got, Huncho?
Although they do have some nice receivers, some pretty well known and some of the top receivers or top recognized receivers in the league. Gonna have to hold up my hand and tell them to please stop it. Please stop it. It's a lot of good receiving corps in the league.
It really is.
I feel like I know
You're
where you're
saying
going.
it's a couple of them.
I just can't put them up there yet. Now, CD Lamb, when he gets in his bag for real, in which he's already getting in his bag, but when he gets in his bag for real, him and Amari Cooper specifically will be great together. Chris Godwin is too iffy for me. I can't do Chris Godwin. I mean, not Chris Godwin. Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup is too iffy for me.
He they deep threat, bro. He just run past
I
people.
had him in fantasy, bro, and the man never gave me points when I needed him. Anytime he did give me points, I took him out the game because he didn't give me points the 2 weeks before
the previous week.
Right. So I can't. He's not doing anything for me. But some of my top receiver corps in the league right now would probably
This is what I'm interested in hearing.
It would definitely be. Where am I going, bro?
Bro, I took one of the teams. It's gonna be the other team. I feel like
it's in agreement with where you was at, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take the Buccaneers, simply because they have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, and
they got to sign AB. They need to sign AB, man.
One person that people forget about is Scotty Miller.
Right. Yeah,
Scotty's
a nice
He coming up for sure. He's a dog. He's probably the fastest person on their team.
He quick. He's
a dog.
If AB didn't get signed there, he definitely would have had even more of an impact on the season.
Facts. He has a lot of potential. And I can see him growing. The second, the receiver corps in the league that I feel like people should look out for are the Panthers.
Okay, that's interesting.
The Panthers receiving corps is cut.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad pick.
It's very cut, and I think they have a pretty good draft pick this year. I don't know. I feel like
they got Sam Darnold for nothing.
Right. So, honestly,
some lint.
Some pocket lint, bro.
I don't know who they gonna grab in this draft, but they receiving corps is nice right now. Curtis Samuel's a dog. DJ Moore's a dog. Robbie Anderson a dog, and all of them young too, for real.
And you saw the 1 year that Darnold and Robbie Anderson played together. I mean, they were on the same.
They were good.
Facts. Who you thought I was gonna say, Melo?
Bro, I'll say it. Even though I had to pick Tampa Bay because they are the best. We're not gonna sit here and discuss receiving corps and not discuss I don't know, Kansas City.
Oh.
I didn't even think you were gonna say Kansas City. I thought you might would have even went like Minnesota. I thought you might would have said JJ
Thielen. Thielen was number one. Like, he's straight, but
I thought you was going to say the Vikings. Honestly,
that's what I thought. Go ahead, Melo. My bad.
The Vikings are solid, but outside of they're too dependent on like those two dudes, and like they're okay, but like they're not better than Reek and Travis
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Oh no. I was talking about as far as the Cowboys. I of course I don't think
Travis
they
tight
better
end
than-
though.
Yeah.
So I don't really.
Are we
I don't-
talking? But that's the thing. Like, are we talking receipt? Like, I wonder. I would have to go back and double check that. Like, are
When they say
including-
receiver court, they usually
They mean receivers. Yeah, they just
I
I
would
think they
still-
had the best tight ends and everything
But
in it.
Travis
I'll
Kelsey,
double check it.
he's enough.
He's a
into the passing game that you can
I
keep-
agree. I agree with Melo.
He was leading. He was leading the league in at one point, like either touchdown or yards
Yeah,
from
facts,
receiving
yeah.
touchdowns or yards. And like Reek was leading the other position. Like, so I believe Kelsey might have been leading it in touchdowns, and Reek was leading it in yards at one point. So for me, I'm like, I can't necessarily they're not better as a core than Tampa Bay, but I'm like, out of respect, I definitely got to shout out Tyreek. Because Reek is he's a nuclear weapon himself.
Before we go to the next proper to stop it. Wait.
Before
Go ahead. What you got?
I was just gonna say that Atlanta shouldn't trade down. I think they should get Kyle Pitts, and they will be with Julio and Calvin Ridley. We did forget about them.
Mm-hmm.
I seen Julio's my favorite wide receiver. Julio Jones is my favorite wide receiver. I've seen Julio play in person, and I actually got to see him play up against Jalen Ramsey.
Dog.
Both them the real deal. They both the real deal. So I was just gonna go before we got on to the next one. I was just gonna go that it was definitely a stop it. Like in the article, it touched on them not having anybody to throw to them. So I mean that can be said about any receiving corps with a bad quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to touch a little bit more on the article. That's what they were talking about. So they said if Dak was there, they would have been the best receiver corps. To Huncho's point with CD and Amari Cooper, I think they complement each other really well. So we're going to see when Dak Prescott come back how well they can do.
Hold on. Question, because you just said that. Who's going to be the number one receiver next year, Amari or CD Lamb?
CD.
All right. There's only one right answer in my eyes, but one
Now-
of those guys, he don't.
I got to
play on
see
the
how
road,
Dak
bro.
looking.
He don't play on the road, man.
Yeah,
Defend it.
yeah,
I
you're
dare
right.
you.
Bro.
I dare you.
But the thing is, no. Let me say this. The thing is, Amari's production is that great that he cannot play on the road and still have the same amount of yards.
Is that a good or bad thing?
It's not a. Let me finish, bro. it's not a good thing. So I'm saying that they will complement each other well in that aspect because when Amari want to go off and do his own thing on the road, CD's still finna snap off, and he might snap off.
CD
even
going to
more.
go crazy this year.
So
I mean, I drafted CD Lamb in fantasy, so I know what
I know.
CD exactly is. But I was just curious because I was a fan of Amari, but Amari seems to disappear when it matters most. So I just was curious.
I want to know something real quick before we go on. Let's make a quick prediction. Let's quick rattle off of a name. Don't gotta be based off stats or nothing. Who do y'all think is gonna lead the league in receiving yards next year?
Golly.
You're going to be shocked at my pick.
Go ahead then.
This is really, I'm not looking at stats or anything. DK. I think DK. And the only reason I'm picking DK is because there's been so much turmoil going on the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. I feel like they just got something to prove, and I trust Russell Wilson. I'm thinking quarterback receiver combo. So off the top of my head, I'm going to just go DK.
Melo.
That might change once the season come around. Once I see how rosters start finalizing and everything. But off the top of my head before the draft, DK, shout out to you, bro.
That's a good pick, Jay.
Kind of in the same realm of why I believe that this will happen. I think Mr. Topoff himself will lead the league in reception in yards. That's
You gotta let him know who that is.
That's Mr. Tyreek Hill. Man, and I call that man Mr. Topoff himself because he takes the top off of any defense by himself.
Right.
So I believe that the mission that the Kansas City Chiefs will be on next year.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna they're gonna be on a mission.
Yeah.
So I got Tyreek taking the top off a lot next year.
That's crazy because I was really finna say Tyreek Hill.
Oh, you was finna say Reek too?
Bro, revenge tour Revenge tour. This is
Looking
This is
for
the time.
revenge.
Y'all gonna wait. Just wait on
and
it.
like Melo said, top bro, he's too fast.
Bro, let me do this first, real quick, before I say mine.
Too many yards.
I'm doing this right here. I don't know if y'all see me. I'm digging something up right now, bro.
You digging a hole, bro?
That man digs, bro.
Yeah.
Diggs is gonna
Shout out to Stephon Diggs, bro. Shout out Big Arm Allen. Hey, that was my fantasy quarterback, y'all. Look, I finessed the draft. He was picking quarterbacks early. I said, you know what? I'm gonna pick my quarterback late. Big Arm Allen showed out. Shout out Stephon Diggs,
I
baby.
called it before the year even started. I think me and Melo was
Good
talking.
pick.
I think I might be wrong, but I think me and Melo was talking. I was talking to somebody, and they said they just did not think that Josh Allen was gonna snap off this year. Well, I was somebody that was in disagreement of that statement. On the other side,
I was a believer too.
and I
was
just
a believer
knew
too.
he was gonna snap. And the fact that they're getting that chemistry going, I feel like they probably gonna have like one of the best QB wide receiver chemistries in the league, and they gonna turn up for sure.
Hey, they were a game away from the Super Bowl.
Facts.
They went up against them Kansas City Chiefs, but watch out for the Bills.
Facts. I mean, since we already on this topic of football, might as well go ahead and say my profit or stop it too, Jay. I kind of went in your direction. I took something off that PFF, the rankings right there.
Okay.
Just to keep it in that realm real quick. So, this is still like Jay said, is the strongest team positional groups ranked by PFF, and I'm gonna go with the second.
I know where he going with this. Oh, I knew you was going. I knew you was gonna do this, bro. I knew you was gonna do this. Oh my god, y'all don't even know, man.
I'm gonna go to
I'm
the
excited
secondary.
about this one.
So, y'all wanna say what y'all want me to tell y'all what they said first?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So PFF ranked the Denver Broncos secondary as the top secondary of 2021. Denver finished 12th in PFF's end of the season rankings last year, following the 2020 campaign, and they predict that next year they're gonna do their thing. Now they got Bryce Callahan, Justin Simmons. So I mean, now they got some pretty established guys back there in their secondary. So what y'all think, man? Profit or stop it?
What's the profit or stop it? Wait, rephrase.
Denver Broncos, best secondary in the league, 2021. Profit or stop it?
You like Justin Simmons that much, bro?
Huh?
Justin Simmons gonna do all that for them, bro?
Oh gosh. I take that as a stop it, bro.
If it's a stop it, you got to tell me who got the best. Because they also got Kyle Fuller and Ronald Darby.
They do. I'm not necessarily gonna disagree with PFF and going Baltimore. The only issue with Baltimore is they got like when they're locked in, there's nobody that can necessarily rock with them. The issue is when they're locked in. Right, like we know Marcus Peters is that type of safety or corner rather that he kind of comes and goes. Right. Like he's a perfect second corner because he has the talent level to be a first, but like as a second, he can afford some of those just moments because he's not going to be going against the number one option every week. Whereas their number one guy in Marlon Humphreys, I mean he's a lockdown supreme. Like we know what to expect going against Marlon Humphreys. Top 10 corner in the league. So they got two top. I really believe Marcus Peters is even a top 15-ish corner. So those type of guys being on the outside, on top of Baltimore already, we kind of know that historically they have a good front seven. So those guys are in positions to be able to make plays. I think that all factors in to it. But I'll go Baltimore over Denver. I like what they did though. Don't get me wrong. But I'm gonna go. It's a soft stop it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go profit. I definitely agree with this specific portion of the article. I think this is super, and y'all know my Bears are near and dear to me. I'm borderline. Look, if we tripping this season, I gotta bet with somebody. If we not above 500 by the 8th game of the season, I gotta buy an Aaron Rodgers jersey. So I'll be on the show with an Aaron Rodgers jersey, and y'all know I hate the Packers. So
hey, that's tough.
It's all good. Shout out the MVP. I mean, I ain't gonna hate. But I really think Denver has a chance. Now, Vic Fangio, he had a terrible first season. I think he gets to regroup with this defense. And the last time he had a really good defense, I mean, albeit we lost in a field goal, but to have he's gonna be able to do a lot with his front seven because he has such good cornerbacks, and that's why I think this is the best corner, the best DB group, for the simple fact that they're so good in coverage and playing off the ball. They're going to be able to do a lot with their front seven. And Denver's in a conference where the team who's been to the Super Bowl the previous 2 seasons, is in. So to have a strong defense to go against, Tyreek Hill twice a year is going to be pretty good. So I would also agree with Melo. If I had to go with any other team, it would definitely be Baltimore. And we're going to see what they going to do because they got to do a lot of coverage this season because they lost a couple of people this offseason. So they're going to have to, show us that they that top course. But, I mean, they can be for sure.
Okay, so I'm going to agree with Jalen. But as y'all know, as y'all both know, because y'all both named the 2 best secondaries in the league, which is Baltimore and Baltimore and the Broncos. I feel like Broncos have the better corners. But like Jay said, they're going to have a lot, like their coverage is going to be like on top of things. So like you said, their front seven has a lot more to work with. So I'm just go Profit. Not too much more I need to say. Van, you can go ahead.
The Broncos secondary is nice. I will say that. Justin Simmons, like we had a past episode where we spoke about him a little bit when he got his franchise tag. Justin Simmons is a dog. He is one of the best safeties in the league for sure. Like Melo said, is he going to do all of this for them? I don't think so. Especially now that they are in a conference that pretty much has some of the highest offense, potentially the highest offensive production in the league. Some of the highest offensive production in the league with the Chiefs.
It's a strong division.
The Chiefs, the Raiders, they're going to have a great offense. They got Josh Jacobs and they got Henry Ruggs, in which they're going to end up having him break out soon. And the Chargers, which they got Justin Herbert, and he has a great tandem of receivers to go along with him in that system also.
That is true. That's true. That's a tough division.
It's a lot of pressure on them, especially as a secondary. You got to come in and face those guys twice a year. So that's a lot to handle. So I don't know if I can really put them as the best secondary of 2021. Who I will put as the best secondary in 2021, who was actually the best secondary, second best, I think, second or third best this past year, is the Green Bay Packers. They got Darnell Savage. And I'm not really a Packers fan either, Jay. I ain't a Bears fan.
No. That was a good pick. I'm not mad at it.
I will give credit where credit is due. Adrian
that's
Amos
facts.
is a dog who, to nod off the Bears, he's a former Bear.
He is.
Adrian Amos is a dog. Darnell Savage is a dog. I think on one side they got Kevin King at corner, which he's a pretty solid corner. And then you got Jair Alexander, who is cut.
Hold on, bro.
I'm not mad at that.
Hold on, bro, because I don't even like and listen, I'm not a Packers fan either. Shout out Diavonte, that's his team. Listen, we do got to give. We're gonna talk about secondary. We do got to give credit to Jair. Like Jair is not just like cut. Like,
Oh, I was finna get into it.
Okay.
That's your.
I'm just saying, we gonna do it. We got to do it right because Jair is.
Let them know who Jair is, man.
Go ahead, bro. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure we was gonna get into it, bro.
Just know.
Talk about it, fellas.
When it comes to Jair Alexander, he is one of the top 3 corners in the league. Honestly,
Top 3.
I agree.
He's cream of the crop. He'll lock you up on either side of the field, man or zone. It don't matter. He's nice. So I mean, I feel like with them having a solid, really they got solid positions all over in the secondary. They got pretty smart safeties with high IQs. If y'all know anything about the game of football, the position of safety is the position on the field where you pretty much got to have the highest IQ on the field.
Yeah, you got to know everything.
So just the fact that they got, I think Adrian Amos is kind of like the foundation of them as far as that that source of energy that they get. But I feel like obviously Jair Alexander is the most prestigious out of all of them. So if they can keep that unit together, I feel like they'll probably end up being number 1. The Baltimore Ravens, to kind of go in the direction y'all were going, they are definitely going to be top 5 again for sure. Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey, they names speak for themselves.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna see what happens. But right now, I'm gonna take the Packers. So I'm gonna give a big stop it to the Broncos secondary.
Real quick, top corner in the league right here, right now. Who is it?
Top corner in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
I mean, my choice goes to that man in L.A.
That's what I was going to say.
I want to say
I don't want to go there.
I'm always okay.
The man who got we share the same name.
The thing is, Mr. Ramsey is always going. Mr. Ramsey is always going to be top 3 in my opinion. I'll be wanting him to put. I'll be wanting to put him at 1 simply because of what he was doing in Jacksonville. But it's not the same. Like I want that same.
That.
Like he's definitely top 3 though. Still top 3.
I think that's why I took Stephon Gilmore away from that number 1 spot because I didn't feel it this year. Like Gilly Lock was different.
Yeah, and it's like with Jalen, it's like I've seen him at the top of his game before. When he was in Jacksonville, bro,
it's about to happen this season, bro. Like y'all said earlier, Matthew Stafford is a big upgrade for the simple fact that you have a quarterback. Jalen Ramsey finna ball this season because you know what? He gonna have that wind underneath him because Matthew Stafford is going to sling that ball and then he's going to move the chains and Jalen Ramsey's going to have a lot of opportunities to do what Jalen Ramsey does.
And when that boy got that mouth guard out, boy, you know it's over, boy.
When is it ever in?
You right. It ain't never in. You right. That boy ain't doing nothing but jaw jacking, bro.
Man, shout out to the DBs, man. It don't be too many sports shows to get love to the DBs, man. I appreciate y'all fellas paying attention. Look, defense wins championships. Offense sells 10
position in football.
Man, talk about it, man. That was excellent, man. That was good.
So look, man. Profit to stop it. I seen this on the internet today. I said we need to talk about it. I need to hear the fellas take because it's actually an interesting thing I read. Mm-hmm. So someone said the hot take of the day: I'm taking peak Paul George over peak Carmelo Anthony. Let me hear what y'all got to say about that.
Did I hear you correctly, bro? Can you say that one more time, please, bro?
Is it profit or stop it that this person would take peak Paul George over peak Carmelo Anthony?
What was this, a tweet or something? Can I just get mine
out the person who tweeted that, bro?
Like, do y'all remember what I said about the person that tweeted that Westbrook stuff last episode?
What you say about them, bro?
Bro, well, just to give everybody a quick rundown, somebody had tweeted that if a no name came, no disrespect to the man, but if no name came back, good old no name would come back with Bradley Beal and help the Wizards go to the playoffs. I told the boy to delete his Twitter. whoever tweeted this need to do the same thing that man need to do. 'Cause this is a big stop it, bro. Don't ever disrespect Melo like that, man. Never, bro. Y'all, bro, don't disrespect that, man. People, I can't stand when people do this to Melo, bro. Why do they do this? They don't understand, bro. Melo is one of the greatest scorers that our generation has ever, the game in general has ever seen, bro. The man's unstoppable. His mid-range is unstoppable. His post-game is unstoppable. Y'all can quit disrespecting that man, bro.
Let me say this. When it comes to scoring, Melo is up there with KD. And that should say a lot. It's just one person's peak lasted longer than the other person's. So when KD was just starting to reach his peak, him and Melo were still going back and forth with scoring and scoring titles. So that should tell you something right there. Because KD is
the best basketball player I've ever seen play basketball.
Arguably the best scorer. The best scorer we've ever seen.
Welcome back, KD.
Hey, KD came back and didn't miss a single shot.
Like, are y'all
perfect? Can we acknowledge that this dude is the best basketball player ever? Mind you, I'm not even a fan of him like that. But as far as talent wise, it's like, bro, came back off of a month and a half of missing because of a hammy and scored 17 points and didn't miss a single shot.
Didn't miss a free throw.
Bro, I don't think people understand how serious them hamstring injuries are, but that's another topic for another day.
But
yeah, like,
so
wait, Lamp ain't say if it was a profit or stop.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Like,
that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Lamp, is it profit or stop it, bro?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Lamp about to say something that is gonna fracture our friendship here. Because I would never say anything like this about Russell Westbrook or Kyrie or nobody. So I'm just curious where he gonna go with this.
Gosh,
so
Lamp, don't do it to yourself, Lamp. Please don't do it, bro.
Bro, do y'all really think that low of me?
All right, ride the tip,
like, bro, come on now. This is definitely a stop it. Like,
I was with you, Melo. I was
tracks.
like, wait a minute.
Bro, he ain't, bro. You know what I mean?
Halt in your tracks, man. This is not a profit. This is not a profit. What is peak Paul George? Is peak Paul George OKC Paul George?
Thank you, Lamp. Talk about it, bro.
Like, what are we considering peak Paul George? Because I'm pretty sure that was his best career when he was in his best season performance of his career when he was in OKC. And if that's what we're going off of, I'm sorry, that's not Melo. It's not.
I'm gonna let Melo end it. I'm gonna let Melo end it. But this, bro, first of all, shout out to that tweet going viral. Because what we got to see today is that man Melo trending. And for all the people who watching hoops now, y'all go on YouTube and y'all look up Carmelo Anthony's highlights. Y'all go or watch some of his old games. Watch some of them old Denver games. Watch some of them peak New York Day games, bruh. Melo got that work. And like Lance said, what's peak Paul George? Get into the Eastern Conference and making a dunk on the Miami Heat on LeBron James. Y'all can fact check me on whoever it was, but if we're talking about Pete
Birdman,
Birdman. But to just everyone's point, like Carmelo Anthony, man, he's one of the most disrespected legends in the game. That's a legend right there. That's a bro. Like Lamp said. Y'all talk about scoring the ball, go look at Melo. And when the last time the Knicks were good, y'all think they're good this season? The last time they were good, Carmelo Anthony won them that division last time. Right. Like I said, please stop it. Whoever tweeted that, delete it. Delete your Twitter. You got to stop it. And I'm just going to let Melo to go end it because he going to bring it home.
I just know this. Okay. Like, where do we start, right?
Come on with it, man.
The year that Melo was in the MVP discussion, he was in the MVP discussion as the first option. The year Paul George was in the MVP discussion, he was in the MVP discussion as a second option, right? Like, first of all, that should say everything I need to say because Carmelo Anthony was always the first option in his prime, whereas we think of Paul George as a better second option than he was the first option. For me, Paul George is most famous with dapping up LeBron in the middle of the conference finals. That's what I think of LeBron. Like that's when I think of Paul George, or as I like to call George Paul, that's the thought that sticks right out. Because to me, right there, it gave it away. Like at that moment, I was like, oh yeah. He was teetering like, okay, he could be a superstar in this league right then and there. That's when everybody should have known. He won't be a superstar. He'll be a really good player, but he won't be a superstar in this league because he don't even got the competitive drive to want to really destroy a LeBron. Instead, he go dap him up at half court like, hey, man, good job. I'm just happy to be here. So, and two, I don't think people really give Melo the credit he deserves for taking some of those New York rosters to the places that he took them. Right? When Carmelo was in the MVP discussion and they won 50-odd games, you do realize J.R. Smith was his second option. Right?
J.R. Smith. What was his third option?
And a beat-up Amari Stoudemire.
We didn't even get to Stoudemire yet because he wasn't in the lineup. He was.
That's what I was going to say.
So you got a Jason Kidd. You got Amari, right? So these are dudes all, as far as Amari and Jason Kidd, was outside their prime.
Yeah.
Let's just think about this for a quick second, though. His second and third option, as Lamp just said, was J.R. Smith and Shumpert. When they got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, what were their options then? What number option were they then?
Fourth and fifth.
Fourth and fifth. So that's what people don't understand, that when you start talking about basketball and really looking at these guys' careers, is Melo took a team where on a championship caliber team, these dudes are fourth and fifth options at best. But he turned them into second options, dude. It had them in the playoffs. So, once again.
It had Linsanity for 15 games.
Bro, he turned. Listen, bro. His point guard was Jeremy Lin, bro. Like, come on, dude. So, once again, Paul George. And all the fellas know, and I'll reiterate this because as much as I clown Paul George, I actually really do enjoy watching Paul George play. I enjoy his skill set.
His game is cold.
I enjoy his game. My only issue with Paul George has always been that when the game mattered most, he shows up a lot smaller than he actually is. He's not playoff P. He's more like pandemic P. So that's my only issue with Paul George. So it's not coming from a place of hate when I say all this stuff. It's actually coming from a place of like, dang, I wish he would be able to do this stuff so he could get the recognition that he deserves. But in this situation, stop it.
Stop it. Hey man, a lot of these profit and stop is we came to the same conclusion on for the most part. So I want to know. I seen something.
Mix it up.
I seen something, and I thought it was very interesting. And I thought, I don't know how this would mess with the league or how this would mess with the ratings when the playoffs do come. But I seen somebody said that the Clippers, by the time the playoffs start, the Clippers will drop to the 4th seed. And the Clippers will drop to the 4th seed. The Lakers will stay at the 5th seed. And we will have a showdown for LA in the first round. Now, y'all boys tell me, is that a profit or is that a stop it? And then let me know how y'all think it'll affect ratings in the league. Let me know what's up.
I think it'd be good for the league to have. I mean, I think honestly, ideally it'd be better for them later to have that meeting later on because it's less teams. Whereas in the first couple rounds of the playoffs, there's so much basketball that there's constant basketball on. But to say that the 4th and 5th, I just think it's gonna be too much to it's gonna require too much to happen in order for that to be something that takes place. So only for that reason do I say stop it. It's the only reason.
Okay.
It's the only reason.
I'll say stop it. I'll say stop it for the simple fact that, one, the fans are about to be back into the arenas. Some news just came out that I was just reading that the Lakers are going to raise their banner in like May, and they're going to have some fans in the building. So I think it potentially could be good for ratings, but for the simple fact that they are, and this is the only reason why I'm saying stop it, is because they're going to have fans, which is going to bring people like, I feel like sometimes people give the fans too much credit, but I do think the reactions play into the ploy. Like I said, the power of social media. When people be seeing those reactions, sometimes they go viral. So I think it brings another aspect to the game. So I think it's stopping for the simple reason that they need that continuity deeper into the playoffs. So, you know, we'll see when AD gets back. When AD gets back, we've seen KD come back, but when AD gets back, we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna just say stop it for the simple fact that I don't think they want that to happen in the first round, and I just think I don't think they're gonna play in the first round. I just don't.
Wait, so what y'all saying? Is the NBA gonna have something to do with this?
I don't think the NBA is going to have anything to do with it. I really just think it depends on the help of LeBron and AD. And LeBron and AD aren't playing right now. So I feel like how it's going to falter. Phoenix is playing good. Utah is on the verge at this point on a three-game losing streak. They playing Portland tonight. So we'll see if they win. But we're seeing Phoenix play better. So we're seeing Denver playing a lot better with Aaron Gordon. So I think the Clippers stay at that 4-3 seed. But I can potentially see the Lakers moving down. So that's why I don't think they'll play.
This is what I'm saying. This is the thing that you gotta think. The Clippers are ahead of Denver, which you said Denver is playing a lot better. The Clippers are ahead of Denver by 1 game. They're ahead of the Lakers by 2 games. And like you said, the Lakers will keep falling. So let Denver get in front of the Clippers. They're going to be in the 4th seed. And let AD and LeBron come back. Even if they fall to the 6th seed, they're probably going to get back up to the 5th seed by the time the playoff comes by. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's assuming that the Clippers aren't going to play good ball then. The Clippers are playing pretty good ball.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they
so
ball.
is everybody else above them.
Right.
Correct?
I'm not denying that, but that's asking a lot of not only the Clippers but the Lakers too. I mean,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Van. I want to hear your take first, Van.
I mean, I'm really gonna go with Jay and agree with him. You know, the way the standings are now is kind of aligned to the point where that is something that could potentially happen. With the Clippers being 3rd and the Lakers being 5th. But to everybody's point, that's a lot on both teams. With Lakers not having AD and LeBron right now, you're asking that team to, in the state that it's in right now, to kind of be able to hold that standing position that they're in right now for who knows whatever amount of time. And with the Clippers, I mean, I don't really see them moving too much. If anything, the Nuggets getting in front of them, they're probably going to stay within that 3rd or 4th seed. But it's really, I personally feel like it's really mostly on the Lakers, just because they have their 2 main factors out right now. And you're asking a team, like I said, to carry that load and keep that 5th seed for this whatever amount of time. For that to occur. So, I mean, I do feel like it would be great for the city of Los Angeles and great for the NBA, whatever the case may be. But the likelihood of that happening, actually, I don't really feel like I don't see it. So I'm gonna go stop.
And one thing before you chime in, Lamp, what I'm interested in seeing as the season progresses is when we get deeper into the end of the season, coaches like to give their players rest. Well, we know, like, it's tight in the Eastern Conference with Philly, Milwaukee, and the Nets. We know KD, James Harden, and Kyrie are going to be playing because they need to build that chemistry going to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. When AD and LeBron gets healthy, we know they're going to play into the playoffs because they missed a month. AD's then missed a couple of months. So how does that play into the role if Mike Malone want to be like, all right, I need to rest Jokic and Jamal Murray, you know what I'm saying? So we could gear up for the playoffs, and you own that teeter of 1 and 2 games, you know, it can make it real interesting. So I just wanted to add that point in there as well.
I get you. And to bounce off that, if you're a team like the Nuggets, you're not resting your players because that seeding is very important.
Important. Yep.
Because like you guys said, the Lakers are missing AD and LeBron. If they potentially fall, when AD and LeBron get back, they have to play, like you said, they have to play into the playoffs. So I don't see them. I see them in that 6th or 5th seed, one of those seeds. So if you're the Clippers, if you're the Clippers or the Nuggets, you don't really want to play the Lakers in the first round. So I don't see the Nuggets resting. I don't see, unless Phoenix and the Jazz have a big gap on the 3rd seed and below, I don't see anybody in those top 4 seeds like resting players, because you want to make sure you have the best advantage or home court advantage that you can get. So I don't. I'm just going to say a soft stop it, because I don't see this. This is not far off from happening. Suns, Jazz, they're playing crazy good right now. I don't see them wavering from 1 or 2 spot right now. It's really that 3rd, 4th, and 5th seed where you really get, and 6th seed where you really get a whole bunch of musical chairs going.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if the Clippers are going to like fall or stay in that 3rd seed. So that's a real big if. And I don't know if the Lakers are going to fall to that 6th seed, 7th seed, or stay in that 5th seed, because they're going to have some players come back. So it's a real toss up in my eyes. So I'm gonna call it a soft stop it, but I don't see that as something that's not a possibility.
I think it just when you think about it, it's going to be requiring a lot, and we're talking about the it was basically the 4 and 5 seeds so they could play the first round. I think the Clippers would do everything in their power personally to avoid playing the Lakers. I think both of those teams will, but I definitely believe that the Clippers are like, listen, if we can avoid playing them boys, and I don't think no one will say this publicly, but I think after what happened last year in the postseason, they realized, hey man, let's hold off certain teams until as late as possible. Mm-hmm. Because whether people want to acknowledge it or not, the Nuggets were somebody that was all. I believe they were on the verge of making the conference finals anyway. So when you're playing a team that has been playing as well and this type of core has been together as long as they have, in comparison to the Clippers, it's going to be tough. So I believe the Clippers will try to do their best to make sure that they don't have to see LA in the first round, because I think we all agree that LA is still, the cream of the crop. And as far as LA Lakers, they're still the cream of the crop in the West. No matter what, the Jazz or the Suns are doing in the regular season. Yeah. I still don't see any of those teams beating the Lakers in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Wow, that was. I got nothing more to say.
That was nice. I like it. Shout outs, boys. Shout out.
Oh yes, that's time. Let's let the birthday boy go first, man.
Yes,
happy
sir.
birthday again to
Happy
Huncho.
birthday.
This is the big, happy birthday to my boy. Yeah.
My God.
Aries gang.
So give us speech.
Man, this is I don't take y'all boys for granted, man. I appreciate y'all boys for real. I ain't never really, well, I don't even know why I said really. Growing up, I was the only boy in my house, bro. I ain't had no brothers, so also only sister. So this relationship I can have with my homeboys that I consider close to me, I really cherish these, because I consider y'all my brothers for real. So I appreciate y'all, man. Just everything, bro. Just my dogs, like I said before in the episode or earlier in the episode. I don't need too much. I'm just thankful to be alive and well, and seeing everybody that I know succeeding, and me working towards my dreams, and seeing some things come to fruition, and just being able to succeed, bro. I don't need too much, so I'm This is all I need right here, bro. All I need for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Shout outs
Man.
though. Shout outs.
Yeah, okay.
What's up?
Shout outs. Well, you know, like we do every episode, make sure y'all tap in with Vnor Design on Instagram.
Venor.
That's VNORRDSGN. Contact me, man. Send me an email, DM, whatever the case may be. I do cover art, logos, videos. It don't matter. I got a lot of projects in rotation right now. Book yours today. Get you some heat, get you some fire, get your business set up, get you on the ground and rolling. Hit me up. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jay, go ahead.
I would like to first and foremost, Remy touched on it earlier. Just send out our condolences to the family in South Carolina, who was actually gunned down by the former NFL quarterback. Let me get Phillip Adams.
Yes.
He played for a various number of teams in 6 seasons. So, like we always do, you know, just want to send our condolences to the family members, to the community of South Carolina that had to go through that. You know, that's something that we never want to hear about. And, you know, just definitely want to send our condolences. And basically, like, I just want to shout out you guys, man. I just want to shout out, like Huncho said, you know, being able to grow, being able to have 5 episodes is something that's really near and dear to me. You know, I enjoy doing this. You know, it's something I love to do. I love talking with you all, chopping it up, and I'm glad that we have an opportunity and a platform to share that with the world. Shout out to Remy, bro. You've been doing amazing by keeping us grounded and keeping
Flyer
us...
pot.
hey, like I said on Instagram, y'all. Hey, shout out to Flyer Pop, but thank you Remy, thank you Melo, thank you B-Lim, and thank you Van. Shout out to Van. Happy birthday, bro.
Yes, sir.
Live it up. Go ahead.
Sir. You want to go, sir?
It don't matter, bro. I'll go real quick.
Go ahead.
Hey, as always, shout out to Leah Cherry Photography. Tap in before her price go up. You know what it is. Number
Get
2.
them headshots.
Oh yeah, you gotta get with her. Number 2. Hey man, shout out to the brother. Shout out to my brother, man. Like that's the homie. Really tap in. I'm you know, proud of your growth. You know, especially over the last couple of years, and seeing you trying to kind of transition from coaching into going all into your business, man. It's cool to look back and reflect on these times and just how we've had to chop it up behind the scenes about it all and all some of your decisions that have been made to get you to where you are right now. So I'm proud as a brother to watch my brother to continue to prosper, bro. So definitely just wanted to take some time and just let you know I appreciate you, my brother.
Man, love, bro.
Always.
Much love.
And then finally, hey, the sweatshirt. Team Ugly.
Yes, sir.
Hey, the Ugly Universe. At the Ugly Universe. It's the homie Kari, bro. Check them out on IG at the Ugly Universe. Local brands, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shop
At the
local.
what?
I need that. I'm Team Ugly.
Hey, nah, bro.
Chill
But
out.
hey,
Chill
Team
out.
Ugly, but my heart
I
good,
need that.
bro.
I need that.
Hey, Team Ugly, but my heart good. Hey, at the Ugly Universe on Instagram, bro. At the Ugly
Hey,
Universe.
y'all getting a follow
Hey,
from me.
y'all see it. Y'all see
Hey,
it.
let's get it. Big follow.
right
Let's
there.
get
Hey,
it.
send that in the
Big
DM.
follow.
Send that in the DM. I want to
Hey,
follow
we'll
you.
do. We'll do, bro. We'll do.
Close us out.
Like always, like always, shout out to Frequent Flyers. You know what it
Yes,
is.
sir.
Hey, man, when y'all dropping that new stuff, man?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, we here. So when y'all gotta listen on Sunday after you listen to the podcast, make sure y'all tap in. We
Yes,
here.
tap
It's
in,
Monday
tap
today,
in.
so make sure y'all tapping in. It's Monday. Well, y'all should be listening to it on Monday. It's Sunday today. Y'all should be listening to it on Monday. So make sure y'all tapping in, man.
Let's get it.
Yeah, so that's FREEQUENT, Frequent Flyers. You know, I'll say it one more time, FREEQUENT, Frequent Flyers. Go tap in for real. We much appreciation for all those who are showing love. But like all my guys said, bro, I appreciate y'all dogs, bro. I appreciate the brotherhood. I appreciate how we have grown. Yet the only 2 people who stay in Michigan are me and Melo. Like distance hasn't done anything to stop the growth and
Big
the potential
facts.
of what we got going on. So definitely shout out to y'all boys. Shout out to my brother Van. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. It's almost 12 o'clock. So
It definitely is.
I'm gonna need you to take some more shots in a couple of in like an hour or so. So you already know what it is. But once again,
Hey, hold on, I got one more.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh, okay,
shout out
bet.
to
He knows
shout
what
out
time
to
it
our
is.
boy.
Hey, flyer pop. Let's
Shout
get
out
it.
to our boy Flyer Pop, man.
Hey, flyer pop in the house.
The production is great. It's only going up from here, and like he's busy with so much stuff, and I can only say shout out because he's here helping us. So.
Nah, seriously, bro. And just to even take it outside of here, on my birthday, Van, Remy invited us over and said, bro, come chill with us, bro. So the brotherhood, as we speaking to, is real. You know what I mean? So definitely shout out all the homies. Shout out Flyer Pop for putting all the time and energy and efforts that he put into, like I said, to the dream. If without Flyer Pop, we would still just be doing this in the party on P5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when y'all be watching these and hear these episodes, man, this ain't no fake stuff, man. These really the guys, man. These, you know what I'm saying? This really off the camera. We act the same way. This ain't no flies and this ain't no facade, nothing. This is real. This is real brotherhood. These my boys.
Off the camera, they the real ghost, y'all. But we
camera,
gonna have to maybe one day we'll get y'all an uncensored podcast or something. But for right now, we'll keep it about sports. These some ghosts out here, man.
Hey man, maybe we gonna have. Hey, listen. Once we build this up, maybe we can transition. Who knows, man? But I'm just glad we got the following that we have. We got the people that tap in with us that we do.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? We appreciate you
and
guys.
Final shout out, it's y'all guys who
Huncho the real Justin LeBoy, y'all.
Big facts. He lived a life that Justin LeBoy tweet about or IG about.
Remy, cut that. Remy, cut that.
That's funny. That is hilarious.
Hey, on the real, wait, hold on.
Real,
Jalen really lived a life that Justin LeBoy Instagram about. But
they don't know.
They don't know.
Look at them. They don't know yet though. But on some real stuff, definitely big shout out to all y'all who are tuning in. Like none of this is possible without y'all. We very much appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening. 5 episodes in, man. We only going up from here.
Hey man, continue to send us stuff. Send us stuff y'all want to possibly be on the show. Once again, shout out Marlon. Marlon sent us a tweet and he ended up on the episode with the tweet. So continue to send us stuff y'all want us to talk about and let's keep going on from here.
Yes, sir. Party podcast out.
Flyer pop out. Let's get it.